right, good evening, everybody. Start this at 6 p.m. I'm here, Thomas is here, Meg's here, Barb's here, Chuck is here, Rick is here, Tim's here. Given that we have some students here this evening, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm going to explain a couple of the steps, just so it is a little bit helpful for you folks as well, okay? Because I know
I'll recruit them to run for office.
Yes. At this point, is there anything for public comment this evening?
If there's any complaint, is that?
Yeah,
Sure.
Sure. You can stand at the lectern if you
Well,
want.
I'll sit right here. I'll sit right here. He's already listening to me. Now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Adrian Lemaire. I live on the Vaughn Road, and one of my little dog got ran over by a neighbor's big dog, and I've been looking for a dog control officer ever since. He came to the house last, was about a week after it happened, after 15 phone calls by making my son, this guy. I went to the sheriff's department, and he came, and then I explained everything, showed him where it was, give him the vet bill and stuff, and he was supposed to take care of it right away. That was a week ago, and nothing yet. So what the town ought to do is get rid of that dude and get somebody that, you know, shows up, at least answer the phone once in a while, because I don't know if I'm madder at him now or the lady with the dog, but it's a toss-up. My little dog can't walk, she's got to crawl in her. Sort of makes me see it's pretty sad when I see her. You got to carry her outside to go potty and pick her up. It's not a good deal. And I went and told her about that she had hurt dog, and she just stood there smiling at me. And I didn't hit her or nothing, so I'm still within the law. And then the dog control officer told me to take the bill and bring it over to her. Oh, no, I can't do that. I can't meet her twice, so somebody would have to do it. So I went to the sheriff's department just not too long ago, just before I came here, and he said they'd check into it. That's about my only complaint.
Well, thank you for coming this evening. I mean, I know that you reached out to Dave.
No,
on his dog
I
control.
had him file a complaint. I gave him a copy and filed a complaint, left a message for Dave.
Ricky will follow up with you then.
That'd be good, because I heard there's a couple other complaints. In fact, the sheriff told me there was a complaint came in today about 2 dogs roaming around somewhere. I said, well, I don't care about anybody else's dog, but my poor little dog. And the vet said it'll take about maybe 6 or 8 months before you see any gaining on it. It's the ACL in the back of her leg.
Oh, poor little thing.
Yeah, oh, yes.
I'm so sorry that happened to your dog.
Buddy.
I know that your son came in and we spoke when Ricky hadn't come
Yeah,
in
he
yet.
said he saw me.
So.
He gets pretty, I didn't want him to come tonight because
No, he honestly, as horrible of the situation is, you'd be very proud of your son. He was very, very professional, and sir, seriously, he was very, very professional, and he was solution focused, and he was a good advocate for you. And I know that he interfaced with Ricky to get some of that paperwork done and stuff. So it's unfortunate about your dog, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But you should walk away knowing one thing: that your son stepped up big time and was a good advocate.
he bought my wife a dog for Christmas. First year he got shot, so.
All right. So you'll follow up with him?
Yep. Yeah, I
Thank you.
spoke with his son, so.
I've seen Rick 3 or 4 times, there's not much he can do.
Anything else for public comment this evening? So just to explain for you folks, we always have a small section of our meeting, both the work sessions and the regular board meetings, where people can come to share complaints, comments, concerns, etc. Okay?
Actually, I do have a
Sure.
little question. I got an email from Trevor today.
You're jumping the shark, Debbie. I'm going to address that tonight. I bet
Oh,
it's the very same thing. You're just an insider because you're on the planning board. So I'll defer back though.
I don't want to miss that, but I don't want to miss this either.
No. So going to my supervisor's report, I did want to share with everybody that we were able to finally lock down all the details. The town of Plattsburgh will be hosting a community discussion on short-term rentals, STRs, at Town Hall located here at 151 Banker Road Plattsburgh on Thursday, June 13th at 6 p.m. We planned it during a board meeting so that we could optimize board attendance. We will also be inviting, I'm just going to read the rest of this. The purpose of this event is to explore the opportunities, challenges, benefits, and concerns raised by the use of this platform in our region. The town will soon be amending our zoning ordinance, as we do periodically, and we wish to explore this particular topic in further depth. This curated discussion will be focused on the service itself and the impacts/benefits associated with it, not about individual properties currently in use. We hope to receive comments, testimonials, opinions from a wide variety of folks, including codes officers, STR users, STR providers, health officers, health officials, tourism advocates, hospitality industry, neighborhood members where STRs exist. All this event is hosted by the town to help focus on the topic within our jurisdiction. We gladly welcome anyone to attend who may want to learn more about the topic and explore the appropriate regulations with us. So to hone it in a little bit more specifically, I'll give one example, and there are many. Airbnb would be an example of this, but there's HomeAway and things like that. So again, this is something that the planning and community development department has been looking into with various workshops that they've gone to at associate towns and various things like that. Now we're in that process of looking at our ordinances. Now is the appropriate time to, again, have a more focused conversation.
Okay, so now can I switch my question?
Yes. I want to make sure you heard
No,
that.
yeah, I know, because I got the thing.
Yep.
I don't know if Jim's planning to come to that?
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Okay, so this would be more to you. I went to the planning conference last year, and I attended a lecture by an attorney who works specifically on Airbnbs. And he said that 99.99% of the time, courts rule in favor of the homeowner. So could you check and see maybe what's transpired since then? I know New York
Okay.
City got their law struck down. I know the
Now, when you
state.
say in what type of issue
So he said that, there are Airbnbs in, let's say, the town of Plattsburgh. So the town of Plattsburgh wants to put into their ordinance that they're going to prohibit them. And this goes to Airbnb, takes them to court, and then the court says, no,
the homeowner
can do what they want.
Yeah.
So that was a year ago. Then
Okay,
in January, I think they had the New York City Airbnb thing that was struck down by the courts. Then I think state is trying to intervene now, so maybe you could find some stuff, because I think that's probably an important.
Yeah, there's a problem. There's a problem in Chazy a number of years ago, and I think it said no bed and breakfast. The reason we're not serving breakfast, it got crazy.
Yeah. So.
I'll check it out.
So one of the things, and just because we're going to have I think a really good, healthy conversation, I don't want to jump too deep into it, but one of the considerations, though, may not be to ban it at all. It may be that there are other requirements, though, and I'll give you an example. Some of the hotels, their concern is a hotel has to get a certificate from the health department.
Sure.
So maybe it's not that it's banned, but it's ensuring that there is a fire extinguisher, ensuring, like some other things, that it remedies other issues through a process by which it just gets homeowners to think, geez, I'm having somebody in my home that doesn't regularly know where the breaker circuit is, or, that type of stuff.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think it'll be a good conversation.
No.
What mine is?
I just thought from a legal standpoint, it might be interesting for Jim to offer.
And that's why we're doing it during a board meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we will do is we will pivot the traditional meeting. It will be a focused conversation on that. And it will be more of a true workshop style. I assume that we'll have some small tables and we'll have a chance to interface with some people. So that's something that Trevor's been working on for a little bit. So, and Melena and the rest of the crew. Okay? I wanted to tell you folks that the Clinton County Supervisors Association met with the highway superintendents for the first time, and that might seem kind of like, wow, first time, but we had a really, really good meeting between them. And I'll tell you, I don't want to out anybody, but not all the highway superintendents in town supervisors have as good of a working relationship as we have, from the culture of the town, but we had a good turnout. Not everybody was able to attend, but we will continue to meet up with them from time to time. And that was really through that focus of the conversation of shared services, because two of the areas that I think that there are some more opportunities for us to do some shared services and opportunities, some modeling is there, and I just wanted to pass that along. I thought you folks would find that somewhat interesting. Again, I will be getting out that conversation to you that the EMS services is one of the next shared services conversations. It's going to be predominantly led by Eric Day. Again, just having the conversation does not lock us into changing the model. I think people get very either frustrated or they're not sure where a conversation will lead to. Right now, we're just in that stage of having some real good open dialogue on some things, looking at different models. Some of the other counties around the state are much more integrated into some of these services. Some of them are a lot more far removed. There are costs and benefits to both of those models. And we're just trying to have some of these, more in-depth conversations, so.
Michael, can you recall how many attended in both areas?
I'm not even gonna try to recall, because we did it in the back room of the butcher block,
Okay.
that little room, so.
Okay.
But it was fairly well attended, and I was pleased with I called it the breaking bread opportunity, where, it's really about building those relationships and having an opportunity. Carl from Clinton County also came, and we had just a good opportunity to have a rap session, and I assume that we'll be doing that again sooner rather than later. So,
Great.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
A couple of things with draft, I'm gonna go to items to the floor first tonight. Just to make sure I got the right number. Yeah. Resolution 94, temporary seasonal hire for lifeguards in the recreational department.
Whereas the supervisors received a letter dated May 22nd, 2019, from Melody Defiant, Youth Services and Recreation Director, requesting hire summer lifeguards. And whereas the Youth Service and Recreational Director recommends that all guards will start after June 8, 2019. On to Sydney Boyd. You want me to read the hourly stuff?
I'll leave that to you, Mr. Rowland.
As sort noted. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Lucas Smith, Henry Alzer, Maya Malamo, onto Chelsea Trombley, Haley Pennant, Nicholas Hager, Nicholas Palmer, Emily McLean. That the list of candidates to be appointed for said positions when all employment verification and eligibility provisions have been satisfied. Now there be resolved, the supervisor is authorized to sign all necessary documents to hire seasonal temporary help in the Park and Recreation Department, and a certified copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, youth director, pool insuring, Clinton County Civil Service Department of Personnel for their final approval and filing, and a copy be placed in each personnel file.
Is there a motion? Costick, is there a second?
Second.
LaFave, any discussion?
I'd just like to commend Mel and Aaron for the job they did recruiting.
Seriously.
This is a job that gets tougher and tougher each year. And they used about every means that they could find to get people recruited to get the staffing. It's tough.
They did a
So
good
They
job.
did an excellent job with it.
Will these seasonal employees fall under that category of the training we talked
Yes.
about? Okay.
Yes. Did you get your email yet? They're slowly starting to, I'm sorry to deviate.
We talked about it at the planning board meeting, didn't we?
Okay.
About the sexual.
Yeah,
harassment.
they're starting to put them up on boards and stuff
Oh, yeah.
within the next week or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that question,
Yeah.
Laura. So, yes, they'll be doing some training. Just to give you, for the folks at home, our highest in the hourly rate is $16.50, if I'm looking at this correctly, and on the lower end is $11.75.
Right.
So.
So that's for water safety instructor.
Right.
Yeah, that's when she
And
functions
is
in
it-
that capacity.
Right.
But when they are working as a water and safety instructor, they get the $16.50, but they revert back to a different rate, a lower rate when they're just doing the lifeguard.
Correct.
And you know, if we're talking about commending them, they've been able to keep many of these people
Oh, yeah.
for a number of years. And that's why you see the discrepancies, the lowest, the ones are the new people. But we do have some experienced
No, she has a really
young people
good
coming back.
The last thing that I would just share is the reason that we are seeking to pass this evening is we will not have a meeting next week. So it's hard to believe, looking outside today, or even this evening, but summer is supposed to be around the corner, so, but beaches are open. So, all
I
right.
mean, if you walk through about 3 feet of water to get on
Yes.
beach.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So does carry. Thank you very much. Resolution 95, public hearing for proposed local law number 2 for 2019.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh desires to hold a public hearing with respect to proposed local law number 2 of 2019, entitled "A Local Law to Extend Temporary Memorandum of Certain Specified Use of Lands Within the Town's Smart Growth Plan Study Area Proposed Zones P3C, P3N, T4, and T5, a copy of which too is attached. Now therefore be resolved that a public hearing to be held in the town of Plattsburgh with respect to adopt of the aforementioned proposal local law at 6:05 PM on June 6, 2019 at 151 Baker Road, Plattsburgh, New York, 12901. And to be further resolved, notice of hearing to be held on June 6, 2019 shall be published in the town's official newspaper, the Press Republican, not less than 5 days prior to the date of the hearing. And to be further resolved that the town clerk shall post notice on the town bulletin board maintained by the town clerk pursuant to Town Law 30, Section 6 of the Town of Plattsburgh website for a period of not less than 5 days prior to the public hearing. The town clerk shall further provide notice of said public hearing by certified mail to town clerks of all the towns shared a common boundary with the town of Plattsburgh, as well as representatives of the state park located in Cumberland Head. And to be further resolved, Trevor Cole, head of the Planning Community Development Department, forward said proposal local law to the Clinton County Planning Board for their review. And to be further resolved that a copy of this resolution and attachments be given to the town clerk.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert, any discussion?
The only discussion, just to modify it, and I wrote it, so, but anyway, probably be the town to make sure to send one to the city,
Right.
okay?
Yep.
Okay,
You want the
you're-
city included?
Yeah, you're probably gonna do that anyways, but,
Beavertown, Schuyler Falls?
yeah, all the towns that surround,
Yeah.
and plus the state park, but make sure you get the city as well.
Okay. Yep.
And again, the reason for this is we had approximately a 6-month, we were hoping to have the smart growth done by then. That has been slightly delayed, so because we don't have the information fully back from the smart growth for implementation or consideration for any implementation for changes, we're by virtue of seeking to extend this. Okay?
Yeah, and Chazen, is there a need for a Chazen representative to be there?
No, because this is the same thing that we've done before. We haven't made the
Okay.
determinations yet.
All right.
Okay? All right.
I would just say for clarity, it's a moratorium.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yes.
say.
Not a moratorium.
Yeah.
Just for clarification,
All right.
more time.
Shouldn't be any-
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So does carry. All right. For draft consideration when we reconvene, we have minutes. You have a Twin State Maintenance renewal for the annual. You will have a Building and Grounds Department purchase request for a new vehicle. This is still in draft. And
Does a
then,
copy of that have to go to Pat too,
for which one?
for the buildings and ground purchase?
Yes, it will. does that need to be added? Like I said, this one's still in draft.
And Rick did review that with us also.
Okay.
That's for towing for purposes of cleaning the buildings, et cetera. But to his, and our benefit, I guess the taxpayers and the town's benefits, he's gonna reuse the larger full-size cargo van that they have now. They're gonna reallocate that, use it for tools, et cetera, for the buildings and grounds guys.
Thanks, Chuck. I was gonna ask about,
He's gonna reuse that. And what this is just one of the smaller type, city-type vans. It's gonna be a lot easier for her to use for her purposes.
Better gas mileage.
Yeah, better gas mileage and, yeah.
Okay. Oops. Last item is a public-private partnership between the town and Schluter. It's an agreement for an MOA to collaborate to relocate, truly relocate the road of Pleasant Ridge Road. There's a number of reasons that this is being sought, including from really almost an interest in safety standards. The highway department, Woody had an interest when he was highway superintendent. This has been talked about for a number of years. Timmy has had some conversations, and there's an opportunity to do this as a public-private partnership. So that will be up for consideration as well.
So when they're talking about the engineers and everything here, there hasn't been any proposal as to where the road would go yet.
I think they did a draft outline for it.
Well, I thought that was the case. It's on the other side of the railroad tracks.
I don't have it in front of me.
As I said, they're gonna use rail as well.
They do want to use rail.
Yeah.
They have an interest in having a spur over at Schluter so that they can unload materials as well, so.
Right, so I just wondered if they were going to, since they're buying all the property anyway, if they would own the property right up through the railroad. The road on the other side. The railroad tracks, but to go through there.
I'd have to hear your comments against the map. So, if that makes
Well,
sense.
I know rail was involved in some way, when I traveled with Alan and we looked at it, but you're talking about the railroad crossing.
Yeah, I'm just concerned because
I don't
on the other
think
side
that
of the
was gonna
railroad tracks,
involve
there's not much of a barrier now between that and the trailer park area
Yeah.
in Pine Rest. So, you know, this, depending where they put it,
You're talking about on the other side.
I think you're thinking that the rail is gonna
Behind where the parking
is gonna
lot
go
is now?
all the way through an extension. The idea is that there'll be a spur, like
I get that.
I'm saying it like this size, like it's gonna be that small, but it's,
But we're gonna have to cross the railroad track somewhere.
they already do that.
Yeah, I don't think that part of the road's
It's gonna-
affected.
that part of the road's gonna stay the
It's
same.
my understanding when I was there with Alan. I see what you're saying, you're talking about back to that crossing is, but I
Yeah.
don't think,
No, it's more,
It's down
There's a
further.
map in the planning
Yeah,
office
okay.
that
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
looked at
See-
when we're having this conversation.
yeah.
And then, for copies going out, wouldn't you add water and sewer since they were mentioned in here as one of the ones that are gonna be part of this?
Yep. All right, that's all I got for draft, and I know of no reason to have an executive session tonight, so